So, welcome everybody to Unity in the Gold Country live, our second service online. Let me see if I can get Facebook another way. Just might take me 2 seconds. So, we bless our global family with radiant health, peace of mind, and abundant love. There's a lot of technology going on here, so I'm juggling. So we welcome all of our viewers from all over the world. We have people from Germany, Ireland, India, and maybe Thailand. So we have definitely left the building and gone viral in a good way. So where are you all? Oh, there you are. So we can hear you now. So,
Oh.
so there you all are in the sanctuary. A couple of you complained that somebody is sitting in your seat. Anyway, that is what we did this week, and we're still looking for all of you to send photos in that haven't sent photos, and we're going to fill the whole sanctuary. It's an incredible experience to walk in, and I love it to walk in there because you're all just smiling up at me. It's great. All right, so we're going to start by lighting our Christ candle as always. So let's take a moment to just center ourselves and connect with the light within. And so we draw on that light now, the light of the Creator, of Source, the light of the universe, the light of all sentient beings, of everything that exists. We call forth that light within us to do the work that it was intended to do, be awareness, be awake on the planet. So we see this for ourselves individually, for the collective, for the planet itself, that it may ascend into a higher consciousness in this time. So we're going to start. Angelika is here with me. We're going to have an opening song. It's not one of her songs. It's called Oneness Song, and we don't actually know who wrote it, but she performed it at another Unity church. And so now we're going to listen and sing along at home if you like. The words are on the screen.
There's a presence moving gently in the quiet of my being, calling softly all the time. One heart, one mind, one life, united in divine. One heart, one mind, one life, united in divine. There's a presence moving gently in the quiet of my being, calling softly all the time. One heart, one mind, one life, united in divine. One heart, one mind, one life, united in divine. There's a presence moving gently in the quiet of my being, calling softly all the time. One heart, one mind, one life, united in divine. One heart, one mind, one
So, come on over and say hi to the folks. So, I just want you to see that Angelika is here. She's not just a figment of my imagination. And she will be leading us in a meditation and also in the talk. So, we'll get back to you in a moment. So, right now, we're going to do what I always call the invocation. And it's obviously been a very trying time for the world, and it's a very difficult time for many people. We think of all of those who are on the front lines trying to provide a safe environment for all of us, and those who are trying to heal all those who are coming down with the virus. So at times like this, it really requires all of us to be focused, to be centered, to really practice what we are attempting to preach. And the light, of course, is a great symbol for us. We can just imagine that that light is burning at all times, that all we have to do is open our minds, just think the thought that we are the light, and then we allow the light to flow through our hearts. In our spiritual hearts, it's full of light, it's full of gold, and we can send this in our words and in our actions. And it may be challenging, you know, if you're home getting stir crazy and there's someone there that may be bugging you. We talked about that last Tuesday in the Enneagram class about how we go to our number and we can get on each other's nerves, and then of course we can go to the breakdown point where we're even worse than normal. So it can be a challenge for all of us, and we acknowledge that. But in those moments, we are gentle with ourselves, hopefully, and that we realize that we are doing the best that we can. But by just taking a moment to be silent, to go within, to be still, to be in solitude, we can connect with that source that we are. And we do that right now as we enter into prayer for all those who have asked for our prayers. We start by praying for unity of Carlsbad in Southern California, whose board president has come down with the virus and was present at a congregational meeting. So all of them are in quarantine now. So we pray for the minister, for the board, for all of the congregants. We pray for Eric Brummett, who is the grandson of a Unity minister who is having a real serious health challenge. We continue to pray for our beloved Diana Malley up there on the ridge, for Andy and Karen Homan. We pray for Richard Wood, and for Amber Baker, for Mary Clear, for Helen Simcox. We pray for all those who have died in this pandemic. We pray for all those who are grieving. And we pray especially for all those who are unable to have rituals, memorial services for their loved ones, that they will be supported at this time. And above all, we pray for the medical personnel for their safety as they battle on the front lines to help those who have been infected. And for all of the essential workers who continue to feed us and to make life as normal as possible for us. I'm just going to take a moment of silence to allow you to add the names of all those you'd like to pray for. And we remember, as always, that there is only one presence, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God. and all is well. Amen. And so at this time, Sandy Spurgeon is going to read the daily word for us.
So the word for today is inner peace. I find the peace of God in the silence within me. I find the peace of God in the silence within me. The Hebrew scriptures tell the story of the word of the Lord, commanding the prophet Elijah to stand on the mountain before the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by. As he waits, Elijah fails to find God as he endures a wind strong enough to split mountains, an earthquake, and then a fire. Then Elijah discovers God in a sound of sheer silence. Sometimes chaos surrounds me as I try to find the peace of God. Other times, the chaos may be inside me. I persist in my efforts as I confront inner storms, fires, and earthquakes as I search for peace. Like Elijah, I remain steadfast in faith, undisturbed by what is happening around me. I wait for distractions to pass. Peace is mine. And from 1 Kings 19:12. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of sheer silence. I find the peace of God in the silence within me. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Sandy. So if you can mute yourself, that would be great. Thank you. And here now is Angelika to introduce the meditation.
So let's imagine what our lives would be like if we had skillfulness to meet every intense emotion, every thought, every imagination, every fear completely. And I have found a method that has helped me to do just that, to be so present and to meet it with such an openness that during, he says I have to speak louder. So I have found a method that has helped me to do that and to become the sky that welcomes every cloud, whether it is dark and menacing or whether it is a beautiful cloud, or to be able to become like the parent, the loving, wise parent that can hold the child that is upset. And this method is called Heart Fluency by Bruce Pardoe. And it has come into my life, of course, at the perfect moment. So imagine we could also trust the intelligence of life, the intelligence of the process, and simply relax with everything and embrace everything that comes, no matter how intense. And so I took a 1-hour session of Heart Fluency and I whittled it down to just 10 minutes. But because I wanted to share this with you, it is so valuable in hopes that you can use this to meet every fear and every terror that arises in your heart and in your mind, and that we can help each other with that.
Let us take this moment to simply arrive here, giving ourselves a pause a rest from everything. Allowing the words and energies to settle is a beautiful act of self-care and respect. Allowing the breath to be gentle and natural supports the settling. Breathe your attention in with the breath as you register the sensations of the breath passing through the airways and diaphragm all the way down to the belly. Imagine breathing through your pelvic floor, feeling yourself being held by your chair and by the earth herself. This earth that has always held you and never judged you. So in this very simple, basic way, there's a sense of being safe and accepted. Just feel being held. Allow your attention to flow to your feet, making contact with the floor, noting any sense of pressure, hardness or softness, coolness or warmth, tingling or a sense of aliveness. Imagine your energy flowing deep down into Mother Earth, rooting and grounding you. Simply rest in that grounding. Allow a sense of appreciation for yourself and your beautiful heart that just naturally cares. Nothing you had to do about it. It is how you are made. Just feel that caring. And now, with an attention that is imbued with the qualities of safety and acceptance, groundedness and caring, allow whatever wants to be explored in this moment to emerge into your attentiveness. It might be a thought, an image, an emotional quality, or a sensation. We simply trust that whatever emerges is perfect and welcome. Nothing you have to search for or get right. What is alive in this moment? Allow your attention to drop down out of any stories or images, words or concepts, into the direct aliveness of whatever arises in the form of sensations. Simply notice what is in your heart space. Is it light or heavy, soft or hard? Is there a color or temperature, a movement, vibration, contraction, expansion, or any other quality? Breathe deeply. With whatever we are sensing, we have a sincerity of curiosity that allows things to be just as they are, without any preference or judgment. We just let any images and thoughts pass through without attaching or interpreting, keeping the attention grounded with sensations and trusting that whatever is relevant will integrate. Notice if the sensations change in response to their passing. And really, it is such a relief to attend to our experience in this way, because there is nothing to figure out, get right, interpret, or even to understand. Just simple, nourished receptivity, feeling and sensing. We allow the attention to open and move to whatever it feels drawn. Notice the balance, receptivity, and patience. This neutral, observational orientation that is not stuck to, lost in, or identified with our experience. We are spacious, yet intimate to what is happening. And there is no need to interfere. Simply notice what you are experiencing. Heavy or light, hard or soft, some kind of temperature, movement, color, or luminosity. Take your time. We are letting everything flow through with a gentle invitation, open to possibilities, trusting that whatever is relevant will integrate. Be thankful you have engaged in these energies that have emerged in your attention. Now that you know them, you will be able to continue the process of holding them skillfully towards a healthy relationship with them the next time they arise. Acknowledge your patience, courage, sincerity, and resolve. As we close now, allow a sense of gratitude for yourself, your beautiful heart, and the mystery of your unfolding. Recognize that you did not have to create the nourishing qualities you opened to today. They are always present, but subtle. They can be an empowerment in any moment you acknowledge or remember them. With that, you can meet anything that arises. If it feels supportive, place your hands on your heart now and feel yourself in the moment. Taking a deep breath. And with a sense of gratitude and empowerment, and when you are ready, allow your eyes to gently open.
So hello again. It is really very, very special to be with you here. And in a way, I feel closer to you and everyone I know than I ever have. And I'm a real crybaby, so I might cry a few times during this service. Let's take a deep breath together. You know, this time reminds me, and as Jerry was talking about the light, that in the story that I would like to refer to a lot today, the Lord of the Rings story, that Frodo, the main hobbit whose task is to bring that evil ring back into the fires where it came from, he was actually given a light by the elf queen Galadriel. And that was a light that was from the brightest star in the universe. It was the Christ light. And it was given to him so he would have a light when all other lights failed. And he used it, and several times it helped him through some pretty scary things. And I think all of us have that light within us. We all have that inner light from the brightest star that can shine when all other lights fail. So Gandalf the Wizard, which in my understanding is more like the equivalent to a sage, a saint, someone with great capacity, he said to Frodo, the little hobbit, a childlike being, well, Frodo actually said to Gandalf, I wish it need not have happened in my time. And Gandalf answered, so do I, and so do all who live to see such times. But it's not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. So my original title for this talk was, a long time ago when we made plans, was Intention, Effort, Surrender, and Grace, which is kind of a roadmap, a recipe for life. And it's only lately that I am getting a deeper understanding of those aspects to our journey. And so I would like to talk a little bit about, reflect a little bit about the intention that we might have for this moment together and for our lives at large and for each other. So I would like to dedicate this service for the well-being of this congregation, of the participants here, and all those connected to us, and the well-being of all beings everywhere. So my main intention is, and a picture is worth 1,000 words, to live from the space of what you see. Maybe the Facebook Live people can't see the image. It's an image of a little creature, like a mouse-like creature, sitting in a flower. Oh, Jerry's turning the phone. He's so sweet. And it's just a complete yes to life. Do you think that mouse is going to worry about the next moment? I don't think so. It's completely here, completely now, in the bliss of this moment. And another image that conveys the state of being is a picture of my grandnephew in Germany. And I put this image, the soul portrait with the dolphins, together with him, because it's the joy of those beautiful sea creatures that he carries. And everyone who he meets on a forest trail or in the city, he goes, hello, hello. And if they don't answer him, he goes, hello, hello. And he reminds me of that joy of life that nothing, no outer circumstances can take away from us. And many wise people have emphasized that point, that what we are experiencing is an inner work. It is not an outer situation. It's just we need to remember and refocus on that. So for a moment, I would like to invite you to close your eyes and touch your heart and go within and feel what is really important for you in this life, in this moment, for the rest of the time that we have together here in this form. What is the most important thing for you? We have been chasing the dreams. We've been chasing the money. We've been chasing the houses. We've been chasing entertainment and relationships and happiness from out there, somehow to fill a hole inside. Maybe we never did experience the kind of love we needed in our upbringing. And so we're always searching. What is it that is really important? And why did we seek all the things we did seek? Was it not just to make ourselves feel good, to make ourselves feel whole, to know what true love is within? So let's remember that we are given this opportunity now and for the rest of our lives to choose that in each moment, to affirm that not with our mind only, but from the depths of our being. And from that depth in our being, I have had words come to me that I will share at the end of this talk. And they're very profound, and the mind cannot speak them from a separated identity. And as far as intuition or intention is concerned, in the story Lord of the Rings, which I really love because it has so many parallels to our time and to our process, the intention didn't become clear right from the beginning. There had to be some research. So Gandalf the wizard researched, what was this ring? What did it mean? And once he became clear what it was, they had a council meeting with all the different races, with all the different beings, and it became clear what they had to do. Once they knew what it was, it became clear what needed to be done. And then they put all their effort, all way beyond their capacity, what they thought they could do, into the journey. And then they had to let go. At a certain point, we can't do it ourselves. They had to let go completely and let something bigger take over. And then at the end, grace comes in. And grace can come in two different ways. It can come as fierce grace, where all the things we rely on that we love and that are important to us gets taken away. Like Frodo had to lose his finger with a ring on it because he couldn't let it go. It had such a power over him. And that's what this ring does. The symbol for separation, the idea that we're not taken care of, that we are separate, that we have to fight and struggle on our own. And all the aberrations of that idea, all the variations put together into one evil intention, one separated from the truth intention. And it would take over your mind, and it would take over your being. And I was just glancing at the clock, and it says 1, 1, 1, 1. That is pretty amazing. That happens to me all the time. So what is the thing that we are holding on to? Maybe something familiar, something old. But the truth is, we are the fellowship of the ring. And we set out together. And we have already left the safe world, the Shire. And in the story of Lord of the Rings, the fellowship that set out, that pledged to each other their support, eventually got broken up. Eventually, each person had to forge their own way, and they didn't have internet. Imagine we didn't have internet right now or cell phones. They only had intuition, the internet. So they had to trust, they had to go into a much deeper trust that somehow the other members of their fellowship would be okay and would do the task that they had to do. So the effort part of the journey is really not to create something new, but to find that inner resource and to keep fighting the enemy, which is within each of us, the enemies of harmful thoughts towards ourselves, towards our bodies, fearful thoughts, fearful states, stressful states. They all break down our immunity. They all break down our light. And so the effort is in saying no to that, using the sword or the bow and the arrow of our own discrimination, of our own power to choose. And I have to honestly admit that it's only recently through the meditations of Jedi Mali, which totally connect me to the divine, and through the heart fluency process, which helps me to be present with whatever old trauma and old emotions arise. With those two things, I am finally able to really do that, to say no to that which is no longer true for me, to that which I no longer need to live again and again and again. I've already done it for 66 years, okay? So when is the time when we make that stand, when we fight the battle, when we take up the sword and the arrow and we say, no, you cannot pass here, like Gandalf the wizard had to fight his past. He had to fight this creature from the underworld, from a long forgotten time. And he had to say, you shall not pass. But Gandalf actually did get, he went into free fall. And it looked like he died, and he did die to his old self. And then he was reborn as Gandalf the White, with much more clarity, much more power, and he came back to finish his job in this world, to be of assistance and guide all those that had lost their inner light, that had lost that brightest light of the star that can shine when all other lights fail. And so just like the fellowship, we too are now broken up physically in isolation, but each of us is doing the job that is most important for the greater good of the whole. And we're doing it in our own way, and each of us are fighting the enemies, the inner enemies that are unique to us, to our mindset, to what we have learned from others, our unique brand of separation. And we're saying, no, I choose something different, no matter what happens. And in the end, Frodo, like I said, had to have lost his finger with the ring. The ring was put back into the fires of the mountain where it came from. It did get merged back into source at the fire of truth. That's where all things are purified, no matter how distorted they may be. But he couldn't do it alone. He had even Gollum, that creature that was scary and dangerous. Gollum in the end saved the world. He was helpful. And Frodo always protected him, even though Samwise wanted to kill him. And then in the end, they sit on this rock. The mountain is exploding, the fire all around them. And they just let go. They know there is no return back home to the safety, to the illusion of safety of the Shire. They can't get back home. So they sit on the rock and they hold each other and they cry. But they let go. And then grace comes, not as fierce grace, but as the grace, that final step that the Course in Miracles talks about, that we cannot make ourselves. The step by the divine that helps us to go all the way into the truth of our true being, of our divine nature. And so the eagles come with Gandalf guiding them, and pluck up the little hobbits that have given more than they thought they could in the journey. They have gone through so much peril and so much heartache and so much pain, and they get plucked up from the rock by the eagles and taken to safety. I could do 100 Sunday services on this material. It's so rich. But I would like to end with these words that I mentioned in the beginning that came to me from that state of choosing truth. When I took time to sit, to close my eyes, to breathe, to drop in and fully turn my attention to whatever wanted to arise, truly like a host who welcomes even thieves, the disowned, and all the many faces and degrees of uncertainty. When I breathed with all of it, noticed the qualities, the sensations and the textures. Intense feelings arose. Staying present with this energy in motion, emotion, nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to control, nothing to change. The breath and the qualities. Something opened. Insights came about the nature of old patterns, and I became the sky, the field of God, the love and the purity of awareness, without judgment. And the following words arose from the experience deep within. They are reminders, signposts, and when I speak them, not just as an affirmation, but with real conviction, as a statement made by a holy child of God. The holy infuses my whole being. I am the same. I am ever the same. Nothing has changed, even in the face of panic on the planet. I am only here to be truly helpful, with or without this body, with or without money, with or without safety, with or without answers. I am here to give everything I am to the all that is. I am the frequency of God, the gratitude, the love song, and the infinite field. I am the all that is. Bless you more and more without end.
Thank you, Angelika, for those inspiring words. I'm sure we'll carry those with us throughout the week. So I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint presentation as we move into the next part of the service. And it's interesting that our power statement for the month of March is through acts of love, I live, compassion. So we just take a moment, each one of us, to allow those words to become ours. And how true are they right now? Through acts of love, that's how I really live. So we choose that for ourselves and for our world. And next we have the place of our love offering. And obviously we can't pass the basket, but we do have ways for you to contribute monetarily. You can go to Unity Gold Country Facebook page, and when the talk is on there, we will put a donate button that you can go to. Or you can go to www.unitygold.us, which is our website. And in the right corner there, there's a line that says that you can make a love offering or a donation. And just a heads up that if you made a donation last weekend or during the week, it may not have gone through. We found out that there was a little glitch with it. We believe that it's up and running now once again, but you might want to check with your bank account, bank statement, because it may not have gone through. Okay, so here we again just generate loving energy for our love offering. As we love the planet, we love all sentient beings. And together we can affirm, I give in love because I love to give. And Angelika loves to give, and so she is giving us a wonderful treat right now of a song that some of us may know. It's Only Pure Love Remains.
There is nothing to fear, there is nothing to lose. You are safe and secure. It is love you can choose. There is nothing to miss or to worry about. Everything is within, just reflecting without. There's a world that can't fade and a peace that abides just behind this veil that you see with your eyes. You are whole and complete. Let all doubts fly away. When they all disappear, only pure love remains. What you need is inside, ever present and sure. There is no need to hide. You are safe and secure. You have come from the light. Remember always, make the darkness so bright that you can smile through your days. There's a world that can't fade and a peace that abides just behind this veil that you see with your eyes. You are whole and complete. Let all doubts fly away. When they all disappear, only pure love remains. All that's needed is here. If you only look close, just forgive every fear. Relax and let go. Let your love guide you on like a bright shining star. It will touch everyone, whether close or afar. There's a world that can't fade, and a peace that abides just behind this veil that you see with your eyes. You are whole and complete. Let all doubts fly away. When they all disappear, only pure love remains. When they all disappear, only pure love remains.
We allow that to sink deeply into our hearts. So by way of closing, I want to read something written by a lady named Kitty O'Mara. And she says, and the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being, and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced. Some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new visions and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they had been healed. So I'm sure that's a prayer that we can all really add our energy to. That's our wish and our hope and our intention for these times. So again, some announcements. I would invite you, if you haven't done already, send your photos to this particular email, goldcountryunity@gmail.com, so that Leslie is not having her time taken up with that. And Patricia Haller has very generously offered to oversee this little project. Again, there you all are, smiling at us. And the other project that we've begun is the Wall of Remembrance. And it's in loving memory of all those who are passing at this time, not necessarily of the virus, can be, but all those who were not able to celebrate their lives or their memorials. And so we have the very first panel that Christy Stevens put together this week. My brother is on the left, and Bill, Maya's dad, is in the center, and then Joe Vielbeg is over there on the bottom corner. So we will be adding people from all of the congregation, your family, friends, relatives, plus also we've invited the general community to send in photos and names that can go on this wall. And then down the road, we will have a celebration of all of them together and grieve together. A reminder that on the web page, right next to that very handsome guy in the green shirt, there's a little photo that says resources for our times. And again, thanks to Marlene Bottenfield, who's adding new pieces to that all the time. There's wonderful videos and meditations and audios and written pieces So go there and be inspired. And then just a little over, I don't have a shot of it. There's also a new box that you can go to for more government and local authority information about services and about perhaps monies that might be available to people. So check that out too. And then, as I said, you can subscribe online to our newsletter and you'll get all of the classes and all of the Zoom invites. And then right below that, well, actually, I think, no, it's up above that. Please see tithe and donation button. It's been moved up above that, I believe. Okay, here's our website, www.unitygold.us. And let's see. So I grew up in Ireland, as you know, and English soccer is really popular, British soccer, with Irish people. And one of the big teams back in the 70s and 80s was Liverpool football team. And they're known for their anthem. That is like 50,000 people belting out, "You'll Never Walk Alone." And so the last few days at one of the hospitals in Liverpool, the staff of the hospital all went down to the emergency room in the ICU section of the hospital, and they stood outside the doors singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" to all of the staff in those ICU and emergency room spaces. So I want to show that instead of our usual closing song. And I need to grab my keyboard, so I'll be right back. And so this is a video. Hopefully it will play. You might want to have a box of Kleenex. So very, very touching. So I just need to get back to my share. I may need to go out of the share. So I just want you to know that I don't want you to walk alone at this time. And I certainly don't want to walk alone either. So it is always a joy and a pleasure to be able to see you. And here's Angelika supporting me at this time. And so I invite us to close now with our usual prayer protection. And then after that, I will unmute everybody so that you can say hi to your family. So here we go. Okay. So together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am, and all is well. Okay. Stop share. And now I can get to participants. I can unmute. Hey, all right.
Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone.
Love, love. Thank you, Mary. Thank you,
Thank you,
Angelika.
everybody.
Part of the life. Love you too.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody, have a great week ahead.
Yes, so as you
everybody.
talk,
You
your
too.
screen will come up.
You all.
Here.
You all.
Blessings.
Oh,
Hi, everyone. Bye.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angelica.
Oh, thanks, Angelica. Hugs, Jerry, Angelica. Hugs.
Hi, Anne.
It was beautiful.
Thank you, Christy. Hey, Magdalena.
Dylan.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Pam. Hello. Hi,
Miss you all.
Brian.
I love you guys.
hi.
Hi, Magdalene.
Carol. Gary. Hey,
Wonderful.
Everybody.
hey, Carol.
Here.
Hi.
Bye. Goodbye.
Are the wind beneath my wings.
Hi, Janet.
Pam, you are the wind beneath my wings. I love you guys.
Dennis.
Dennis.
Hi,
Hi, Dennis.
Okay.
Pam, hi, Jerry. Hi,
Our
Jerry.
sound is on, right? Unmuted.
We're going to sign off.
Hi, everyone.
Can you talk?
Hi.
You want to- No, can they hear us? Yes. They just can't hear it because I have it on audio. Good.
And
Francie. Hi, Francie.
Tracy.
There they are.
Hey,
Hey.
Drew. It was Drew and family.
Very.
iPad. Very popular.
There's Ed. Hi, Ed.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey, hi.
Hi.
Jivat. Hi, Jivat.
Hi
Hi,
there.
Shanti.
There's Shiva and Shanti.
next time I'll wait.
Namaste.
There's Shiva. Hey, Shiva, it's Pam and Linda.
These people.
Well, that's kind of beautiful people. Our picture.
Francie again.
Javat. Hi there.
Trying to wait for
There's
Hi,
Richard. Hi, Richard.
Cool. Hello. Hello.
I'm trying to wave at everybody.
Thank you, Jerry and Angelica. Thank you. Hi, John and Claudia.
Hi.
Anne-Marie. Claudia and John. Hi.
Hi.
You guys are beautiful.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Saw you on the front page of the paper.
Guys.
Amazing.
Thank you for the service.
That's Deborah.
Hi, I'm not showing myself.
Thank you, Angelica.
Thank you, Angelika.
Look at some of
Hi, Anne-Marie. Hi.
We got Sophie and Lily. Hi, you guys. Hi, honeys.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, everyone.
Good little boy.
So good to see everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you all. Thank you so much for beautiful service.
Yes.
Thank you, Angelica.
Hi, Richard and Susan.
Hi.
Hi there.
That was Shanti and Shiva.
Namaste.
They're in trouble with their signal.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Much love.
Bye-bye.
Much love.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
You're connected.
Bye, Bob.
Okay. Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you too.
Susanna, hi.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being with us all the way from Germany.
Wow.
God bless us all.
Yes.
Stay safe. Stay happy. That's all that means.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to end the meeting. Love to you all. Glad to see you. Thanks for joining. Bye. Okay.